Hi, my name is Adam Kunzmiller. I'm here with BGG TV at Gen Con 2013, and I'm joined here by Robert DeMeo, and we're here to talk about Inkognito. So Robert, tell me a little bit about this game.
Okay, this is a classic game, in fact, because it was first released by Milton Bradley in 1988, so it's now in its 25th anniversary.
Nice.
And the game was really popular in its time, but has been out of catalog from Hasbro for a very, very long time. And so we got in touch with the authors, we managed to get the rights back to this game, and we decided to print a new edition.
Great.
So this game has a lot of fans from its early days who played this game as a kid in a lot of countries across Europe. So we decided to do a new edition, but to be very careful in it. So to keep all the good things, to avoid that all the fans were disappointed, and just to improve where it was necessary.
Yeah, it's easy to make missteps there. You got to be very careful.
Yeah, because when there is a game, people have such a strong, fond connection from his younger days. You must be very careful. And so we decided to keep most of the original art, but we revised the graphic design completely. We are using the original molds, and especially these nice figures, which everybody was played this game at least once, remember, because it's very fun and interesting. So, more about the game. The game is a game set in a Venetian carnival in the early 20th century, so sometime between the two wars. The players are spies, and they are moving across Venice, trying to figure out who is your friend and who is your enemy. So you are playing, the basic game is a game for 4 players, so you are playing essentially as 2 teams of 2 players each, but you don't know who's the real identity of the other players. This is dealt through a set of cards, which are dealt to the various players at the beginning of the game, so that each player receives one individual identity card, one individual aspect card, and one individual clue. So each player receives a set of 3 cards, and after each player is dealt these cards, each player also receives a set of colored cards, which are used through the game to deal clues to the other players.
Okay.
The important thing is to try to figure out who your friend is before the players in the other teams do, and to try to figure out what is your secret mission. Every player has a secret letter code, and this together with the secret letter code that your friend has will tell you which is your secret mission. Most secret mission will involve learning also about the real aspect of the other team, because each player has 4 different figures. So there is one short one, a fat one, a thin one, and a tall one. Only one of these 4 figures represents the real agent.
Okay.
The other 3 figures represent agents which are just trying to muddle the water.
Right.
And try to
Red herrings.
To confound, yes, red herrings. Okay. So the game is essentially a deduction game, bluffing game, where you're trying to understand from the clue what the situation is and try to confound your opponent as much as you can. Every turn you will roll this phantom-like figure, and you will have 3 colored balls coming out.
Now, I don't know if this is picking up, but there's a bunch of different balls in here, and then when you put it down, they'll line up and you'll get a combination of colors. It's very cool.
Yeah. And essentially, the orange ball allows you to do one movement on a road. There's a light blue ball which allows you to move through water.
Through the water.
The white ball allows you to move either through the water or on the road. The white card. Then there is the black ball, which allows you to move the ambassador figure, which is a very intriguing character. He's a non-player character in the normal 4-player game, but we introduced into the game a 5-player variant where you can, one of the players play the ambassador.
Okay.
Ambassador is a character who likes to meddle into information, to try to have his own secret network
So
of
the player that's
information.
playing that character won't also have spies that are representing them. They'll just
No,
be the
just
ambassador?
the ambassador,
Okay.
yes. But in the normal 4 players game, the ambassador is somebody that you can go to get information about anybody. In the 5 player games, the ambassador becomes a player and he wants to figure out the secret identity of everybody before one of the team of spies finishes his mission.
Oh, cool.
There is also a 3 player version where essentially one of the 3 players is alone without a teammate, but he doesn't know if he's alone or not.
Sure.
So you are trying to figure out if you are alone or in a team, and if you find out that you are alone, you must try to flee the city before the other team completes your mission.
Okay.
So with the same basic mechanic, we introduced a variant for making the game playable from 3 to 5 players.
Okay.
When after movement you meet the agent of another player, at that point you may ask that player for information. This is the key part of the game, because that player will now be able to decide which cards to show to you. Normally when you ask a player for information, you will ask either for information about his name
Okay.
or for information about his aspect. If you ask for information about the name, he will have to show you at least 2 name cards and 1 aspect card. If you ask information about the aspect, he will show you 2 aspect card and 1 name card. At least 1 of the 3 cards must be true.
So at least one, but it could be more than one.
Could
are
be
true.
more than 1. That's a tricky tactic.
Some advanced or maybe
Advanced-
stupid play.
Yes, yes, maybe advanced or maybe stupid, of course. But most of the time you will assume that the other players is always show you 1 true card. So when you show true cards, you can really throw somebody completely off.
And so you know, based on this from the start of the game, which of the people is on your side and which isn't?
No, you don't know at all who your friend is. So the first thing, of course, is important is to know if, for example, if you play Colonel Bubble, your teammate is the player who is Lord Fiddlebottom, or if you are Agent X, your teammate is the player who has Madame Zaza. But you don't have any clue about who of the other 3 players around the table
Okay.
is who. So that's the very important. So in the first part of the game, essentially you are trying to figure out who is your friend, and then when you know who your friend is, when you meet with him, you can actually give to him true card if you want. So the gray cards that show you what your real identity is, what your real aspect is, and what your code is. So of course you can decide to do this even early in the game, but most of the times you will just try to show the true cards when you are sure that the other player is your teammate.
So these gray cards can be used by anyone. Like if they know who their ally is, they would use a gray card to say, like, this is definitely who I am.
Yes,
And
yes,
you can't lie when you use a gray card.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say you come to me and you ask me for information. I could actually decide to give you as cards all the 3 cards which tell you which is my name, what's
is
my
the real
aspect.
agent, yeah.
Of course, I'm giving you a lot of information, so
Sure.
it's better that I know for sure that you are my
Who
friend.
you are, correct.
But sometimes you may play tricks on this. For example, I can show you my secret code and essentially trying to get you to think that I'm your friend,
Sure.
while in fact I'm not. And so this is essentially the deduction mechanic is that over the
Use
course
that
of
to
the
take
game,
notes
you
and-
will take notes of of the information that you gather, and then you will try to deduct which of the clues that you got are true, which of the clues you got are false, and the aspect is important. The
This
name
is what triggers the end of the game, is
Yes.
when this is accomplished.
Exactly, because the identity is very important because you must understand who your teammate is.
Sure.
But the aspect and the secret code comes to be very important at the end of the game, because essentially they will tell you what is your mission, and most of your mission will ask you to know who is the real aspect of your opponent. So for example, you say land any piece on agent X. This means that you must know which of the pieces of that. I know that the green player is agent X, but that's not enough. I must know is agent X the fat guy, the thin guy.
Yeah.
So you must know the real, most of the times, the real aspect of your opponents to be able to accomplish.
Now, is this available now in stores?
Yeah,
generally?
it's available now at Gen Con because we just got the pre-release here. So at the Aris Games booth, 1849, we have the game on sale. It will actually ship from the factory only next week, so will be available in stores around the end of September.
Okay.
Yes. Now a few more because we're shipping from Detroit.
Well, this was Inkognito, a reprint of a game on its 25th anniversary, you said?
Yes, exactly.
So excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.